Your hypotheses. April 2, 2014. You formulate a hypothesis based upon what you have observed in your own lives, and what you have gathered as your evidence from other resources. And then you take that hypothesis, or your hypotheses, and you use them to create your reality. You are taking out of the equation the fact that what has occurred no longer needs to, however. You are assuming that there is some sort of constant in your world and in your universe, and that the constant must be repeated over, and over, and over. In other words, every time you attempt to create a rule, or a law, or a theory about your world, you are taking out of your consideration the fact that the world that you are observing is in a constant state of change and evolution. Therefore, basing your hypotheses on what has happened is like saying you only want to live in the past. If you are going to formulate a hypothesis, do so based upon what it is you want your future to look like. It is a clever trap that you all set for yourselves to assume that history is repeating itself, and that no amount of your personal and your collective evolution is going to change the environment you live in. Instead, let us give you our hypothesis. Everything about you, about your world, and about your universe is changing, and nothing needs to be repeated that has already occurred. You do not need to reinvent the wheel, and you do not need to re-experience something once you have experienced it. You can choose to, but you do not need to. And you certainly do not live according to what has occurred. You do not need to live that way. You do not need to create your reality based upon what has occurred. But what has occurred can propel you into a new reality that is based upon what it is that you have decided you want to experience. That is how we would use past events if we were you. We would use them to help us decide how we want to move forward. Your lives are filled with these theories, beliefs, hypotheses, ideas, constructs, paradigms, and you are here to experience them as well. But experience them with the type of curiosity and experience them as observers. Experience them as creators, knowing that you create the new hypotheses from which the future can be formed. We are the Hathors. We thank you. And we wish you a fond good day. Channeled by Daniel Screnton. DanielScrenton.com